Good morning, this is Nirupma, and I'm going to talk about staff retention in Australian early childhood education and care sector. The early childhood education and care sector in Australia plays a pivotal role in children's lifelong learning, social development, and overall well being. However, a persistent and critical issue threatening the quality and sustainability of the sector is staff retention. High turnover rates, workforce shortages, and declining well being among educators directly impact children's experiences and learning outcomes, undermining the early year learning framework and national quality standards. Hence, effective leadership and regular systematic reforms are necessary to ensure a stable, motivated, and skilled workforce that supports high quality pedagogy and inclusive practices. O'Connor and Sims 2025. This reflection critically analyzes the issue of staff retention in Australian ECEC, drawing upon contemporary academic research and policy documents. It discusses the threats to ECEC sector posed by workforce instability in relation to EYLF and NQS proposes evidence-based strategies to enhance staff well-being, professional identity, and leadership capacity, thereby strengthening the sustainability of the sector. The issue of staff retention in Australian context. The Australian ECEC workforce faces significant challenges related to recruitment and retention. According to the 2024 National Early Childhood Education and Care Workforce Census, Australian Government Department of Education 2024A, approximately 1 in 5 educator plans to leave the sector within 2 years, citing low pay, limited career progression, and burnouts as a key reason. This instability has led to chronic staff shortages, increased workloads, and compromised quality of care and education. Jobs and Skills Australia 2024. Early childhood education roles are emotionally demanding and require high level of relational and pedagogical skills. Yet, educators often experience low professional status and insufficient recognition for their expertise. Macmillan et al. 2024. The undervaluing of workforce contributes to stress and emotional exhaustion, ultimately driving attrition. Leadership practices, workplace culture, and systematic policy responses play a central role in addressing these challenges. O'Connor and Sims 2025. Risks in relation to EYLF and NQS. The EYLF, Department of Education 2022, promotes the view of educators as reflective professionals who facilitate belonging, being, and becoming. Similarly, the NQS, ASICA 2023, emphasizes continuous improvement, collaborative partnerships, and staff well-being under Quality Area 7, governance and leadership. High staff turnover and low retention rate pose direct risks to these frameworks in several ways. Number one is disruption of relationships. EYLF outcome one. Frequent staff changes disrupt children's sense of security and belonging. Trust and emotional safety are foundational to learning, and instability undermines these essential connections. Hine et al. 2024. Number two, reduced program quality. NQS Quality Area 1 and 7. Consistency among educators, support reflective programming, and sustained implementation of EYLF's play-based pedagogy. High turnover erodes team collaboration, reflective practice, and continuity necessary for effective learning cycles. Macquarie University Wellbeing Research Group 2024. Number three is educator well-being. NQS Quality Area 4. The NQS identifies staff well-being as essential for quality practice. Persistent stress, low morale, and burnout reduce educators' capacity for responsiveness and creativity. Arvind et al. 2022. Equity and inclusion. EYLF Principle 4. Frequent staff turnovers disproportionately affects vulnerable children and families, particularly those requiring continuity of care or culturally responsive practice. Without systemic attention to retention, the goal of high quality, inclusive early childhood education remains at risk. Key contributing factors. Research indicates that educators' attrition in early childhood education is multifaceted, stemming from structural, professional, and emotional domains. as number one is inadequate pay and conditions. Low wages remain one of the strongest predictors of turnovers, Jobs and Skills Australia 2024. Despite the sector's critical role in child development, educators often learn less than workers in other comparable professions. With the federal government's Worker Retention Payment Initiative, Australian Government Department of Education 2024B represents progress. The disparity between educators' responsibilities and remuneration continues to erode professional morale. Number two, emotional and cognitive demands. Educators consistently report high level of emotional labor stemming from managing challenging behaviors, engaging families, and adhering to administrative expectations. Macmillan et 2024. Emotional exhaustion and compassion fatigue contribute to burnout, particularly in under-resourced settings. Number three, leadership and workplace culture. Leadership qualities significantly influences retention outcomes. O'Connor and Sim 2025 found that transformational and distributed leadership approaches foster strong professional identity and collaboration, where hierarchical and compliance-driven management model exacerbate dissatisfaction. Supportive leaders promote open communication, shared decision making, and professional learning, all linked to improved retention. Number four is professional recognition and career pathways. Many educators express frustration with limited career progression opportunities. Irwin et al. 2022. Without structured pathways for advancement or recognition of expertise, staff members often leave to pursue alternative careers. Number five is workload and administrative burden. Macquarie University's 2024 research found that increased regulatory requirements have intensified workloads, leaving less time for meaningful interaction with children. Excessive documentation and compliance expectation reduce job satisfaction and increase turnover intentions. Strategies to reduce risks and improve retention. Addressing retention requires integrated leadership strategies, policy reforms, and focus on educator well being. Number one, strengthening professional well being frameworks. Well being is central to retention. Macmillan et al. 2024 demonstrates that educators with high level of professional belonging, recognition, and purpose are significantly less likely to consider leaving the field. Services can enhance well being through mentoring programs, reflective supervision, and access to mental health resources. The Department of Education's Workforce Retention Guide 2024 recommends embedding well being policies within daily routines and leadership practices. Number two is transformational and distributed leadership. Leadership that values collaboration, trust, and empowerment promote retention. O'Connor and Sims 2025. Transformational leaders inspire a shared vision of foster professional growth, while distributed leadership encourages educators to take ownership of pedagogical decisions. Wanigayake et al. 2020. These models enhance collective efficacy but build professional pride and reduce feelings of isolation. Number three is policy and funding reform. Government policies play a crucial role in supporting workforce sustainability. The Worker Retention Payment, Australian Government Department of Education 2024B, and increased funding for educators' wage demonstrate growing recognition of the issue. However, long-term retention requires continued investments in wages, scholarships, and career development opportunities. Job Skills Australia in 2024 highlights the need for national consistency in workforce planning and qualification negotiation recognition. Number four is building positive workplace culture. A positive workplace culture is characterized by respect, teamwork, and open dialogue. Research from Macquarie University Wellbeing Research Group 2024 found that services with inclusive and collaborative cultures experience high retention rates, encouraging peer support, team reflection, and professional recognition initiatives that strengthen cohesion and resilience. Number five is enhancing career pathways and professional identity. Structured career pathways and access to ongoing professional learnings are essential for maintaining motivation. Wani Gayake et al. 2020 emphasized the importance of reflective leadership and professional inquiry as a tool to sustain engagement. Services can implement tiered professional recognition programs, enabling educators to progress within the sector rather than leaving it. Number six is flexible employment options and supportive entitlements. Flexible working arrangements, including part time leadership roles, job sharing, and phased returns from leave, make roles more sustainable for educators balancing family and life commitments. Paid professional development leave, parental leave entitlements, and access to superannuation portability enhance long term retention. Implications for leadership and professional practice. Leaders in ECEC hold a pivotal role in shaping professional culture and influencing retention. Effective leaders model reflective practice, nurture professional identity, and create psychologically safe environments where educators feel valued. O'Connor and Sims 2025. Leaderships aligned with EYLF's principles, such as secure, respectful, and reciprocal relationships and high expectation for all, translates into enhanced team cohesion and reduced turnover. Moreover, the NQS Quality Area 7 requires services to engage in continuous improvement and build leadership capacity. Leaders who advocate for fair play, equitable workloads, and professional learning opportunities embody the ethical responsibility outlined in Early Childhood Australia Code of Ethics 2020. Conclusion. Staff retention in early childhood education is a complex, multifaceted issue that sits at the intersection of policy, leadership, workplace culture, and individual well being. The stakes are high because turnover disrupts the stable, secure relationships and intentional pedagogy is foundational to children's learning under the EYLF and compromises services capacity to meet NQF expectations. Yet, the evidence indicates that thoughtful, research aligned approaches, including distributed leadership, professional learning communities, strong induction and mentorship, well being oriented workforce practices, and clear career pathways can significantly reduce turnover and strengthen workforce sustainability. For leaders, the challenge is to embed these strategies within everyday practice to advocate systematically for the resources and recognition that the sector requires. By prioritizing relational leadership and professional growth, childhood services can create workplace where educators can want to stay and where children consistently benefit from high quality and stable learning environment. Thank you.